Hey, what's the story? For today's video we are having a look into the future of the North American metal cardboard landscape, taking a closer look at the lonely hunter Fleta Z from the first series of metal cardboard. Fleta Z transforms into a black cargo plane. While the color scheme keeps the very classy mix of black, red and gold, it ends up looking much more plain compared to robot mode. Mostly because there are a lot of motor details in the old mode that just kinda disappear in the sea of black plastic and could have used a little bit of paint to make them stand out. Something that we might be getting from the Agabus release coming out later this year. Overall, the plain mode does look pretty cool though, even while going for very cartoony proportions. It even has an opening cargo hatch feature, even if there's nothing you can really put inside. Very appreciated nonetheless. Fleta Z presents itself as one very handsome fella. They look powerful, yet elegant with a black and red color scheme that is always a classic combination. It's in key parts where silver and gold have been used to spice things up a bit. The large winged shoulders might not be show accurate, but they give the figure, in my opinion, a really striking silhouette and just look really cool. While the head is certainly very pleasing to look at, I just wish there could have been a bit more black paint on top to further aid to separate the colors. It's the chest that works the most for me. The Fleta Z symbol is nicely detailed and very well painted. It's something that could have been easily tampographed, but no, it's molded. Okay, looking at the possibility for Fleta Z here, there is quite a lot for such an early years metal cardboard figure. Starting at the head, there's quite a lot of movement as you should be used to from metal cardboard figures. There's a ball joint, so there's enough of movement going on here. Looking at the shoulders, there's a hinge right there on the wing where the shoulder connects, which goes up one click and goes down one click. In the arm, there's a rotation right up here where it connects to the wing, which goes 360, nice and clicky. There's a very clicky elbow joint right here, which goes all the way and goes down very far. Rotation right where the elbow connects to the forearm, which is sometimes hard to move. You really gotta grab the upper part of the arm to rotate this around, or else, as you saw, the upper joint will move instead. The hands have no rotation themselves. They can pivot a little bit side to side because of transformation, which can be annoying when you equip Fleta Z with the Fleta bow, because it tends to droop a little bit because of the weight. Also something to look out for, because the joint up here for forward movement of the arm is pretty stiff. You should have your finger around this part of the arm to when you move this around, because otherwise the rotation you need for transformation can disconnect, because there's really nothing holding it in place. Fleta Z does have a waist joint which is not used for transformation, so it's a fully posability enhancing type joint configuration, but to access that you need to flip this as far back as it goes, or else this will get stuck. So, but you get movement right here. It is hard to move sometimes because this all collides with each other. So you really have to take the upper part of the chest and just move it out of the way. Then you can access the waist joint. The hip skirts on the side move out of the way quite nicely. And then you get the hips, which go out nice and clicky. Both sides, so full Van Damme possible. Get knee joints. Go back like this. And then there's no thigh rotation, but you get a rotation down below the knee because of the transformation. And then the foot goes up for transformation, but no ankle pivot or something like this. So yeah, all in all, Fleta Z is quite movable for something so early in the metal cardboard line. The joints are very tight, so you will need a lot of strength to move them around sometimes. But you can get this one into pretty dynamic poses for a figure from the first series of metal cardboard. Before we have a look at Fleta Z's metal card weapon, like a lot of first season cardboards, they also come with a secondary weapon they can use in robot mode. In the case of Fleta Z, it's a big sword that transforms from part of the vehicle mode. It's never used in the actual show, but it's definitely a welcome addition. In classic metal cardboard fashion, the actual metal card transforms from a very neatly packed rectangle into a formidable clear plastic weapon with just a few easy steps. The joints that are used to move the arc of the Fleta bow in place are very pleasantly ratcheted. The weapon handling nicely slots into Fleta Z's left hand and stays there pretty solidly. Cast in green clear plastic, the aptly named Fleta bow sports some striking red detailing to avoid looking too plain. The weapon even grows to a pretty impressive size and fits the overall look of the robot really well. I wish there was a way for the weapon to pack in somewhere on the arm though, aside from the handle, cause even though it's not falling out anytime soon, it does tend to flop around a bit. If two weapons are not enough for you, they do possess the ability to combine with one another to create the ultimate weapon. I love that you have the option for the two weapons to interact with each other, and it really doesn't look half bad. But it does add a lot of heft to the weapon, which makes it even harder for the handle to support it, and depending on the pose you're going for, it makes Fleta Z pretty front heavy. Fleta Z was one of the final original series figures I added to my collection, and it quickly turned into my favorite figure from that line. The robot mode is just really up my alley, and the different weapons add a lot of variety in how you can display the figure. Add to that, really fun transformation, even if the strings and the shoulders can be a bit awkward at times, and lots of possibility for a season 1 figure, and you got a killer combo. For everyone on the fence about this one, especially with the upcoming release by Agabus, be assured that you won't make the wrong decision picking this one up.